What's up, Vikings Nation? Lock in right now, because today's Minnesota Vikings news dives straight into the future of the most important position in football. This isn't just another offseason recap. This is about belief, development, and what's next for a young quarterback carrying massive expectations. The end of J.J. McCarthy's season gave us answers, but also raised bigger questions. As a Vikings fan, you could feel it down the stretch. The flashes, the growth, the moments where you said, okay, I see it. And that's exactly what the people running this organization are seeing too. General Manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and head coach Kevin O'Connell aren't panicking. They're planning. So stay with me because we're breaking down exactly what the Minnesota Vikings think about J.J. McCarthy, why the quarterback room is about to change, and how this all connects to the ultimate goal, bringing a Lombardi trophy to Minnesota. Let's talk about it. The 2025 season ended with mixed emotions, but also with momentum. A 9-8 record, a 5-game winning streak, and a statement win over the Green Bay Packers to close it out. That final stretch mattered, not just for the standings, but for confidence inside the building. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah didn't sugarcoat it when he spoke to the media. He said the Vikings saw flashes of exactly the player they believed J.J. McCarthy could be. That's not blind optimism. That's evaluation based on real NFL reps against real defenses. And when a GM says the team wasn't overconfident, that matters. It tells you this front office understands development isn't linear. Injuries, timing, and circumstances all played a role. But the belief in McCarthy? That's very real. Kevin O'Connell echoed that same tone. Calm, confident, honest. He made it clear that the Vikings are comfortable with where McCarthy is right now, and excited about where he can go next. This wasn't the ideal developmental path. McCarthy started only 10 games out of a possible 34 over 2 seasons. That's not how teams draw it up. But development doesn't stop because the path isn't perfect. O'Connell emphasized something crucial. McCarthy wants to be great. Not good. Not serviceable. Great. And that internal drive is something you cannot coach. When teammates believe in a quarterback's work ethic, everything changes. The locker room notices who stays late, who takes accountability, and who attacks the offseason. And by all accounts, McCarthy is that guy. But here's where it gets interesting. The Vikings aren't putting all their eggs in one basket. They're not handing out guarantees. Instead, they're doubling down on competition. O'Connell made it crystal clear. The Minnesota Vikings believe in having a deep and talented quarterback room, not just for insurance but for growth. Competition isn't punishment. It's fuel. It sharpens habits. It forces attention to detail. And it creates urgency every single day. O'Connell even pointed to Justin Jefferson as an example. Elite players thrive in competitive environments. The same philosophy applies under center. This isn't about replacing McCarthy. It's about pushing him, making sure every rep matters, making sure no comfort settles in. And let's be real, the Vikings have learned this lesson the hard way. Over 4 seasons, 8 different quarterbacks have started games. That's instability. Injuries played a major role again in 2025. McCarthy missed time. Veteran backup Carson Wentz went down. Once again, the quarterback room was tested. That's why Kwesi keeps coming back to one word: depth. Complementary, competitive, reliable. The Vikings want a quarterback room where styles fit together, experience balances youth, and everyone can execute the offense at a high level if called upon. Kwesi explained that since he and O'Connell arrived in 2022, they've identified a clear standard. When the Vikings get a certain level of quarterback play, the offense becomes explosive. And when the offense is explosive, it sets the table for the defense and special teams. That's how this team wins. So the mission isn't naming a starter today. The mission is building a room that gives the Vikings multiple shots at playoff runs. Kwesi said something powerful: you never know when the league opens up. Injuries happen. Windows appear. And when that moment comes, you have to be ready. That's why he refuses to lock the Vikings into a rigid timeline. Whether it's this year or next year isn't the focus. Preparation is. And preparation starts with the quarterback room. For O'Connell, competition is non-negotiable. He believes it accelerates McCarthy's Year 3 evolution. He said it plainly, competition makes everyone better. Not just the starter, but the entire offense. That mindset extends across the whole organization. Every role, every rep, every drill. And here's the key part. McCarthy remains the priority. O'Connell said it himself. JJ will be a major emphasis for the staff. They're not abandoning him. They're investing in him. O'Connell also gave insight into McCarthy's exit interview, and this is where it gets technical. They talked about fundamentals, dropbacks, footwork, balance at the top of the drop. Whether it's quick game, 5-step, 7-step, or play action, consistency is everything. A proper base allows the quarterback to activate the right throw at the right time. Beyond mechanics, they focused on progressions, attacking defensive voids, getting the ball out faster. Efficiency isn't just about big plays. It's about stacking completions. 5-yard gains matter. They stress defenses. They force adjustments. They open shots downfield. O'Connell stressed that a strong foundation reduces in-play corrections. Less thinking, more reacting. And that's how quarterbacks take the next step. He said McCarthy grew tremendously over the season. Not just physically, mentally. Now, for the first time, McCarthy gets a full offseason without rehabbing an injury. That matters more than people realize. Kwesi added context by comparing McCarthy's mindset to his Michigan days. Me versus them. Competitive. Gritty. That edge is part of what makes great quarterbacks great. But it's also a balance. Playing fearless while staying available. Kwesi made it clear he doesn't want McCarthy to lose who he is. Because that fire, that hunger, that's what you want holding the keys to the franchise. By August, the pecking order will be set. But it won't be fractured. GM and coach will be aligned. That alignment matters. That's stability. And stability is how contenders are built. So Vikings fans, here's the big takeaway. The Minnesota Vikings believe in JJ McCarthy, but they believe even more in competition, depth, and standards. This is not a rebuild mindset. This is a contender mindset. Now I want to hear from you. Do you believe McCarthy takes the leap in Year 3? Should the Vikings bring in a veteran challenger? Or draft another quarterback? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's debate it like real Vikings fans. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Minnesota Vikings news, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with every Vikings fan you know. The offseason is just getting started, and things are about to get very interesting. Skol. Purple Heart American football.